On Instagram and TikTok, I asked you guys to leave as many questions as you want. You guys did not disappoint. Where does your creativity come from? Do your ideas just come out of nowhere? Pinterest, Google, Instagram, and what happens is that I get ideas, combine them, and kind of make it my own. Where and how do you get your hashtags? Honestly, I Google my hashtags. How do you feel about mirrorless cameras for landscape and cityscape photography? I think mirrorless is the future and is here to stay. What would you say to someone that lost their way and inspire them to take pictures again? I'm gonna answer this question, just give me a second. What's your biggest advice for aspiring upcoming photographers? If you're new or an upcoming photographer, try your best, and I say try because it's hard, to not worry about numbers. Don't worry about followers, the amount of likes, etc., all that stuff. You need to concentrate on becoming the best photographer you could be. And don't worry about what other photographers are doing. Don't worry about their success and what they're up to, because then you'll start I'll never get to where he's at. No. Name someone who you've always wanted to work with. P.S. You're amazing. Honestly, I would love to go work with Steve McCurry and or Chris Bernkark. Those are my favorite photographers right now. What has been the most difficult photo you have ever taken? This one. How many years have you been a photographer? What did you first shoot? I've been a photographer now for 10 years, and I first started shooting fashion photography. These are some of my first photos I've taken. Yikes. How do you tackle a weekly photo assignment? I say it like this: I have 7 days to come up with one amazing image, and that is a lot of time, trust me. How can I push myself to really get back into photography and get my name out there? This is one of those questions that I'm gonna answer in the end, so just give me 1 second. What are some tips you have for shooting manual? Just keep shooting. How do you plan your shots? Actually, most of them are last minute. Lessons, recommendations, a self-taught photographer without any kind of knowledge. You're going to have to say no to a lot of events, a lot of invites, a lot of, hangouts with friends. I compare it to dancing, for example. If you want to learn how to dance, eventually you're going to have to go to the dance floor. YouTube can only teach you so much. What camera brand do you like best? I'm a Sony at heart, but I'm in love with Fujifilm. What's been a time where you were put in an uncomfortable position to get a shot? Oh, all the time. There's a bunch of times. I mean, you don't pick up photography as a hobby or a profession to be comfortable. I've worked with models that just aren't feeling it. I've shot strangers that just did not want their picture to be taken, and I've also been kicked out of location. All right, what about doing long exposure shots? I love long exposures. That's pretty much all I did in Hawaii. Go check it out on my Instagram. Anything that you do to find an idea or make yourself think outside the box. Once I have an idea, I start thinking, okay, what is the human eye not used to seeing? And once I come up with that idea, I try to think outside of the box that I'm already in. If there was one shot that you could expose in a museum, which one would it be? That's a good question. Probably this one? Canon or Nikon? Fujifilm. What's your regular day-to-day job? I don't talk about it much, but I'm a combat photographer in the military. Are you self-taught or did you go to school? I went to school for graphic design, and during school we were learning a little bit about Photoshop, and they gave us a camera, and I started cheating on graphic design ever since. What's your next tech purchase? Probably a lens. It's always a lens. What's your favorite thing to photograph? Seascape. Seascape photography is my favorite. All right, what inspires you to take photos? Inspiration changes constantly. I mean, currently right now, all of you inspire me to keep doing what I'm doing. Beginner photographers must have what, and one thing that they can't go without. I say one is patience to learn, and then two, I would say any camera. How does Jess react to being your model in most of your photos? Let's ask her. What are the...
I've been doing it for so long that it doesn't even faze me anymore. I don't know, it's just second nature now. I just kind of expect it, I suppose. And it makes for some good profile pictures.
What motivates you? How do you stay motivated? I wish I was as motivated as you. These are probably the questions I get asked the most. To me, motivation is a feeling, an emotion that just comes and goes. It's not reliable. See, I don't know if you're truly asking about motivation or you're looking for some sort of shortcut for success. If you're relying on motivation and you can't find it, or there's a lack of, you'll start using that as an excuse. Motivation is awesome, but it isn't the answer. Discipline. Discipline is the answer. Do you think I wake up every week for a shoot motivated, especially if it's a sunrise shoot? No, of course not. But when I do, as much as I don't want to, and I accomplish the shot I want, I never regret it.